Hey guys, this is Doran, CEO, Culture Matters. Today's book review is on History's Worst Dictators by Michael Rank. He also wrote a book called the 18 of the World's Most Productive People, which we're going to do an awesome book review coming to you guys soon. So why did I pick this book up? Well, I believe when you can learn from the worst, you can be your best, because you can study the experiences that evil people, basically lived through and shows that path, and maybe invest that into a positive outcome. So I picked this book up. Basically, it's 10 of the most disgustingly evil people that ruled the world prior to 1850. So 3 of the guys that actually in this book we could talk about, what I learned from, was Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan, and Emperor Nero. Emperor Nero, Rome, actually burned down the entire city, and he basically would kill anyone that would show any possibility of potentially taking his throne, including wives, similar to Henry VIII, who beheaded his wives. And Nero was basically a pretty disgusting individual who would throw these lavish parties, and everyone would be doing all sorts of things that we can't even discuss on film in a G-rated review. And what I learned from him was basically leading through fear inevitably ends in your abysmal failure. He only took over reign on an off chance because someone prior to him died, and he ran the country for about 10 or 12 years before he blew everything up. And basically the Roman Empire, which Julius Caesar created this amazing political and government and troop-based military force that basically lasted for 100 years. Well, guys like Caligula are the reason why Rome ended up falling apart. So another great guy that I learned about was Attila the Hun. Attila the Hun literally conquered the known world, and he did it so devastatingly. He burned through the Visigoths, he burned through Rome, he killed everybody, millions and millions and millions of people, literally millions and millions of people. Now remember, there wasn't technology back then. Like, Hitler was a terrible guy, but he could just press a button or make an order, and all these people would die, and he wasn't even near it. Right? There's actually proven that Hitler never even went to one of the concentration camps. Now let's turn it over to the latter side of things. Attila the Hun was there on a freaking horse with his men, chopping heads off, which is pretty terrible when you think about it. And he was right there in the action. The main thing I learned from him was, yes, you can conquer the known world with anger. Like, you can lead your company by pushing people. Maybe you have a good product that consumers want, and you can push people, almost like Steve Jobs, how he pushed himself right out of his company. But if you want to maintain an empire, you have to be a true leader, a true visionary, someone like Caesar, who actually politically, governmentally, and for the people brought everyone together. Because when Attila the Hun died, his empire, which was so vast, crumbled immediately, similar to Nero, and similar to basically everyone in this book who took over the world, and then quickly, when they perished, their empire fell apart. So what I learned from this in business is everything does really rise and fall on leadership. And your ability to grow their people the right way and instill in them the right passion and the right purpose will keep your legacy potentially forever. Last example I'll use is Genghis Khan. He literally, in the 40-some years that he was alive, killed so many people in such a short period of time, and his predecessors, about 40 million people died through his wars, that it was the equivalent, enough carbon dioxide that was released into the atmosphere was equivalent to 1 year of cars right now today on the road. Now, there's 2 things you can learn from that. One is we probably put way too much carbon in the air from our cars. That's another story. 2 is, how the heck is that possible? That's insane. So many people died that forests actually flourished after, which is an interesting philosophical question that I guess you could ask at another time. But the point is this: he devastated the world, he took over the world, and when he died, his predecessors, because of lack of leadership, which is not being a boss, not pushing people, like you could push a stake right through somebody, like Vlad the Impaler, and they'll listen to you because they're dead. But if you want to keep your legacy, you've got to inspire people to learn more, be more, and do more. And he didn't do that. His empire also fell, like Alexander the Great's, Nero's, and many, many others. So why I read this book was to stand on these evil people's shoulders so I could be better and see farther in the right ways. And what I got out of it was, if you're going to maintain your company, focus on your vision, focus on your culture, because culture matters. So when you leave when you leave, whether you die, you retire, you sell out, they can continue your legacy and move on. I would give this book a 4-star review only because I feel like there's so much more knowledge that could have been put into the book. But I thank Michael Rank, and I look forward to reading more of his books. Thanks, guys. You have a great day.